Okay. Friday afternoon. And yeah, I want to talk about this real quick. Just give me 1 second, guys, and we're gonna jump into it. Yeah, what's up, Adidas 20? He said Pony Pandemonium, Sony down bad. Yeah, man. We're gonna talk about a few things. Give me about an hour or so your time, and we're gonna enjoy our weekend. But just give me a second, guys. Okay. All right. Yeah, ever since the PS5 Pro, we all know it's $700. It was announced last week, and it's been the biggest talk of the town since, because $700 is a lot for a console. And in some miraculous way, I don't know how it happened, but I shouldn't be surprised. Xbox is somehow getting the blame for it, and we needed to debunk this narrative, which I completely disagree with, that somehow Xbox quote unquote lack of competition is the reason Sony's charging for the PS5 Pro, and we're going to talk about how that's not remotely true. Um, because Sony's been raising prices literally all generation. Yo, what's up, Craig? What's up, Craig? I'm good, man. I hope you're doing good as well, man. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Sony, they're the first to charge $70 for games. Faded Blaze, man. What's up, Faded? They're the first to charge $70 for games. They raised the price of their subscription service. You know what I'm saying? They even raised the price of their controllers. So this idea that all of that Xbox lack of competition is some nonsense is why Sony's doing this. No, that's just not the case. You know what I'm saying? That's just not the case. The truth of the matter is that Sony. Listen, guys, that phrase Occam's razor. The most simplest explanation is I believe that's how it is. The most simplest explanation is often the correct one. If Sony is raising prices, they need money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why everybody's trying to complicate it so much further than that. You know, they're selling the price. They're selling it at this high ass price because for as long as I've been gaming, the console itself was never the big money maker. It was always the software. And you know what's not selling? Sony games. I mean, yeah, just yesterday, Square Enix said that the Final Fantasy games didn't do well. Didn't meet expectations and all that stuff. So if people aren't buying the games, like if the software is not making the money it used to, and they're raising the price of everything, that has nothing to do with Xbox. Look, guys, Sony's decisions that has nothing. Oh, thank you, Faded Blaze. That's right. It just came out today that Concord cost $400 million to develop for. How is that Xbox fault? Did Xbox put a gun to Sony's head and say nonsense like put $400 million into Concord to the point that they apparently they thought it was going to be the next the future PlayStation or some nonsense. Hold on, let me get that up too, man. Thank you, Faded. I ain't turning off my ad block. Look at this, man. Concord reportedly cost a record-breaking $400 million. PlayStation thought it was their next Star Wars. That you see that putting out sorry ass games like Concord that y'all didn't buy. Y'all didn't buy Forspoken, to where Square Enix shut that dev down less than a month after that game released. That's why they're charging you guys out the ass. It has nothing to do with Xbox. Not nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so glad the chat Faded Blaze was able to remind me of that. Craig Simmons said, "I'm not even interested in the Pro. Real talk. I think the PS5 is my last PlayStation console. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Look, the only reason why I have a PlayStation 5 because my brother gave it to me for free. That's the only reason why I have it. And even then, I don't even touch the damn thing. So and I've been on this one for a minute. This is clearly the worst PlayStation console generation ever. Um, at least even though even though I'm not you know even though the PlayStation 4 games didn't blow me away, at least man, at least they were new games. And well, Spider-Man, but games like Ghost of Tsushima that was resold to you was new last generation, and Death Stranding, which I'm never going to buy it, was new. And even Horizon, which is there, apparently there's a Horizon remastered coming. you know, I guess this is Xbox fault too. The fact that Sony's reselling them old games. Craig Simmons said, "I haven't played my PlayStation 5 after I finished Spider-Man 2." Yeah, that's usually how it is, man. Every once in a blue moon, a PlayStation game comes. I'll buy it at the Sony tax, $20 or under, play it for a little bit, then go back to Xbox. You know, that's the cycle with because these games just aren't. You buy a PlayStation 5 to play PS4 games. Yeah, man, isn't that ridiculous? Faded Blaze. That's all this generation has been. Yeah, I mean, hell, Faded. Even when they revealed the PS5 Pro, right? What did they show? The fucking Last of Us 2. Or yeah, The Last of Us 2, which came out on the PS4. So, so look, guys, the problem here is not some lack of competition, as if Sony's really competition to Xbox anyway. It's that you know they just blew $400 million on the biggest flop of the year. No, y'all aren't buying their games, and they got so much money tied up into R&D in these consoles. They got to make some money back. Craig Simmons says, "Wait, I meant Stellar Blade." Okay, yeah. So Craig Simmons played. It sounds like he beat Stellar Blade. That's what's up, Craig. And yeah, again, that's how it is, man. Every once in a while, a PlayStation game will come out. You play it for a little bit. You go back to your Xbox, and that right there is the issue. And then these games aren't. And then not only are they not as great, they're not even being praised like they were last generation. And you know why? Because it's the same. It's the same fucking shit. The same thing they just played, man. Um. So yeah, man. Faded Blaze. The problem is they lost. That's right. That's right. They did lose that Call of Duty money. Now they have to throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks. Basically, man. Absolutely spot on there. Faded Blaze, because I just find it ridiculous to say that the lack of competition is the reason that Sony's doing this. No, no. Look, look. Here's the thing. Let me find, because Xbox, on the other hand, what was it? Diablo made another $1 billion franchise under their wings now. Let's see here. Yeah, Blizzard had made $1 billion and counting from Diablo 4. So Xbox is fine. You see, here's the thing, guys. It console sales is not the measurement of success. All right, Xbox knows how to make money. That's the important part. And Craig said, "Yeah, I beat it now on Space Marine 2 on the Series X, of course. Yeah, the game. And by the way, Space Marine 2 runs best on the Series X. Great game, by the way. Space Marines 2. I got my homie. He bought a copy for his own collection too. But yeah, Space Marines, man. That right there, Craig, is going to be one of the best games of the year. I guarantee it, man. I guarantee it. I don't know. I don't know what. And here's the thing: like me personally, I don't follow reviews and all that stuff, because I just don't care, So if this game isn't, it'll be on my potential game of the year list. Let's put it that way. Space Race 2 is awesome. But yeah, man, back to the topic at hand. Let's read it. what this article has to say, man. All anyone's really talking about when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro is the mid-jest console price point, and it's easy to understand why. Even for gaming enthusiasts, $700 is a hard pill to swallow, regardless of how much more powerful the machine purportedly is than the regular PS5. Well, there will be various reasons why the price is what it is. One analyst has suggested the lack of competition is very likely one of them. No. Piers Harding Rolls, a game industry analyst from Ampere, says the pricing strategy for the PlayStation 5 Pro aligns with Sony's desire to protect its margins, simply meaning it doesn't want to sell a console as a loss. Yeah, and this is what's interesting about stuff like this, right? The minor details will be correct. Yeah, Sony doesn't want to sell the console at a loss because we all listen. It is not. It is at this point. If you're a gamer and you've at least know just a little bit of the history of gaming, you know that the console itself has never been the moneymaker, especially the first few years of console generation. And here Sony just can't afford a loss anymore. And Faded Blade says Space Marine 2 Game of the Year over Astrobot. Yep. Yeah, and the thing about here's the thing. At least Astrobot looks creative. You know, it doesn't look as boring and dull as the rest of the PlayStation lineup. But it's so obvious that game is again another game that reportedly isn't selling that well, right? And yeah, let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Sales report is bad news for Astrobot. So again, this is why I don't take them serious, right? This is why I don't take them serious at all, because for all the talking they're doing, all the reports, all the numbers, everything important is proof that they're not even playing these fucking games that they brag about, that they talk shit about, that they pretend to care about. So since they didn't buy Astrobot and Final Fantasy and Concord, which we know cost $400 million apparently. Yeah, there's a reason why Sony doesn't want to take a loss on the consoles no fucking more, because they aren't getting any of that revenue or profit from the games. So you, if anything, it seems like the PlayStation community are more at blame than Xbox for this shit. I mean, at the end of the day, man, listen, it's at the end of the day, can we please hold Sony's feet to the fire for once? I thought with this ridiculous price for a console, the gaming world would finally just even for 5 minutes hold Sony's feet to the fire, call them out on this nonsense, and keep Xbox out their mouth. Don't blame me. Just strictly Sony, you fucked up, and they can't even do that. You know, they can't even do that. And Cray said, keep bringing the truth. I have to get back to my channel soon. Yeah, man. For those who don't know, the homie Cray, his channel is both a cooking and a gaming channel. The dude be throwing down, man. He be having them steaks. Like, damn, Cray. I'll play Astro Butt, but when it's on sale or PS Plus, and I can't see how people say it's on Mario's level. Yeah, again. That whole Astrobot is better than Mario's stuff and on Mario's level. I knew that was going to happen, is because that's what always happens when Sony has a string of bad news. Everybody hyper focus on Sony, right? They hyper focus on Sony, on the one thing that they might have gone for them, and blow the weight up. You know, they get so hyperbolic, so extreme, and what they don't realize. When instead of just being like, yo, Astrobot's a great game, I'm having a great time with it, pick it up, right? Instead of just doing that, just simply saying that, which you know, everybody would be like, all right, I might not like the game, but then that's your opinion. They gotta go to this hyper extreme craze, just be like, oh, Astrobot, it's even better than Mario. It's the greatest platform that ever exists, right? And that's the stuff that rubs people the wrong way, because people play other like. They act like nobody. They act like people only play PlayStation games, Craig, nothing else, and then just take their word for it blindly. But it actually just ends up sounding fucking insulting when you say that. and that's how you get the backlash towards the game. But game, by the way, according to sales report, they're not even buying. Faded Blaze says, I'm looking forward to Horizon Zero Dawn and Days Gone. Yeah, the remasters. The remasters, man. Just that's what's so ridiculous about it, right? And that, see, I would not be happy if Xbox was just like, all right, we're just gonna resell you Halo 3 again. Well, Halo 3 was on the Master Chief Collection. Oh, you ain't late, Shizno. You're not late at all, man. Thank you for joining, Shizno. And same with Nay29. The PS5 Pro gonna shadow drop with baby steps. Oh no, not baby steps. I'm still mad at Zinc for making me watch that damn video. Stupid ass video, man. But yeah, but like I was saying, I'll be upset if instead of Xbox giving us Indiana Jones and Starfield and Avowed and Perfect Dark and bringing back Fable after 15 years and Forza Motorsport, which looks brilliant, and Halo Infinite, you know what I'm saying? And even some of the third party games like the Gunk and Ravenlock, and High on Life, I'd be upset if instead of those, it's just like, hey, here's Quantum Break remastered. Well, I just played that on Xbox One. Hell, even if they remastered my favorite game of last generation, Sunset Overdrive, I'd be like, what's the fucking point of this? I just beat it on the Xbox One a few years ago. Give me something new. But with Sony, it's like, no, it's like, but this is what I don't understand. Sony's resting on their laurels of 10 years ago. They don't. They're not even smart enough to remake the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 stuff. And again, all this ties back to the theme of this podcast, man. Is that Sony charges $700 for the PS5 Pro has nothing to do with Xbox. It's not Xbox's fault. It's not lack of competition. It's not any of that. It's the fact that Sony is not making money, and they're tired of selling consoles for loss. And that's why they've erased. That's why hell. How can I forget they raised the price of the PlayStation 5 itself in many markets? And y'all, by the way, y'all, when I say y'all, I don't mean to chat, but the PlayStation fanboys praised them for it. You know what I'm saying? They praised them for it. And hey, E-Rock, thank you for joining. And so when I see this, lack of competition, sorry guys, the truth of the matter is, they're charging $700 because they didn't buy Square Enix says Final Fantasy 16 and 7 didn't meet expectations. How about this one? Astrobot sales are looking bad. Concord, the biggest flop of the year, cost $400 million. That's why they're charging you $700. But E-Rock, man, I know I sent you the link, impromptu stream type. Thank you for joining. But man, how are you before I let you speak on this nonsense?
Oh man, good man. Always good to when the bat signal goes out and I see either Unlimited Production or Sega Man, always good to join you guys and have these discussions.
Yeah. Well, so far it's just me and you, so this should be a relatively shorter show. But man, so the reason why I want to make this is because I've seen a lot of this lack of competition from Xbox is why PlayStation Pro is $700, right? And here I'm saying no. The reason why it's $700 because Sony needs to make money. Their games are not selling. Their games are mega flops. Concord today, E-Rock, cost $400 fucking million. A game that was shut down in less than 2 weeks, E-Rock, cost $400 million. That's why they're charging it at the ass. But man, let me get your thoughts on this, man. On if Xbox are really the ones to blame for Sony's shitty business practices.
To anybody who's going to hear this podcast, and to my good friend Unlimited Production, who I've known for wow. So has it been 4 years now, or
over 4 years? Yep.
Now you see why Hebot and myself feverishly cannot wait till PlayStation goes out of business. Mm-hmm. Do you see why? And only when this happens will you understand why when that day comes and you do your post-mortem of PlayStation podcast,
Yes.
I hope you let me know early in that morning when you do that podcast so I can drive to the liquor store and get a bottle of champagne, because I'm going to crack the bottle of champagne live on air. And the reason why is because, as a gamer, as an Xbox gamer, and just as a person who enjoys gaming as my hobby,
Mm-hmm.
This stuff is tiring.
Yes.
This shit is beyond tiring.
Yes.
What's so tiring now is that, and it's happening in all forms of media. It's happening on television. It's happening in politics, but it's really been happening in gaming. The level of ignorance and certainty about your ignorance and willful ignorance that goes into the writing of these articles. Somebody willfully wrote that article with no research and no logic. No competition from Xbox is why PlayStation is charging $700 for PlayStation 5 Pro. No, PlayStation is charging you $700 for PS5 Pro because they know they can get away with it. Has nothing to do with Xbox. Lack of competition. Competition? What competition? Xbox has destroyed PlayStation.
Yep.
Xbox is making all the money. Xbox did not suffer a $300 million loss for a game. Okay.
Yeah.
Xbox's games are selling. Xbox is making money. Xbox is making money from multiple sources that we've stated a dozen times or more on this podcast and some of the other podcasts. Xbox owns Call of Duty, the biggest game in the world. I don't care how you want to slice it or spin it. Xbox owns Activision. They own Bethesda. Competition. The onus is on PlayStation to do something. The onus is on PlayStation to not lose $300 million on Concord. The onus is on PlayStation.
400.
Oh, excuse me, 400 million. Excuse me. I lowballed that figure. And where are the articles saying, "Oh my God, $400 on Concord, $700 on PlayStation? PlayStation is dying. PlayStation is dead." You never see these articles.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because this news cycle in game, this entire industry can no longer exist without Xbox. It can't. It can't. And well, E-Rock, how do you come to that decision? I come to that decision because all I see every day in, day out on YouTube. I don't even have a YouTube channel anymore, which means I don't have a YouTube account, which means I can still watch YouTube, but I watch it just as a guest. Yeah. And as soon as you watch one Xbox video, sadly, here comes all the dumb shit in your feed, whether you want it to or not. Is Xbox going to die? Xbox. And the thing is, there's never Xbox just didn't lose $400 million on a fucking game. And if they did, it'd be a drop in the bucket to this company. A drop in the fucking bucket. And so, again, as a gamer, I get so tired of seeing these articles. I get so tired of watching the gaming media and the gaming public hide their head in the sand. Astrobot isn't meeting his sales figures. Gee, haven't we always told y'all that these PlayStation motherfuckers don't buy games? That their favorite exclusive is being on Twitter talking about Xbox? How many times we told y'all that? They lose $400 million on Concord, and then they charge you $700 for a PlayStation 5 Pro. Then have the unmitigated gall and the balls to announce a PlayStation 6. This is who Sony is. We've told y'all this. We've only been telling y'all this for 4 years. We've been telling y'all this on our various channels, and it's just not sinking in. But these articles are hilarious. They're written by fans.
Yeah.
They're written by people everywhere I go, man. Whether it's on different websites or in comment sections, I see the same dumb shit over and over again. Xbox is dying. Xbox is going to go to business. Meanwhile, if you understand business like unlimited production, Xbox is a black line heading up. PlayStation is a red line heading down. Google that and find out what the fuck that means. Yeah. This company has seen no growth in 25 years. The VR headset, a fucking failure. A failure. Okay, yeah, a few folks bought it, but the VR headset, a fucking failure, right? Yeah. Okay. So hundreds of millions of dollars, probably $1 billion, but Sony will never know. Because being the unscrupulous liars that they are, they'll never let you know how bad they're really hurting. Billions of dollars to the research and development of the VR, which is a failure. Concord, a failure. Their exclusive games not selling. Square Enix came out publicly and said, we can no longer continue this exclusive strategy on PlayStation. We got to put our games in Final Fantasy on other consoles. So it's like, dude, like this gaming media, all of this shit is tiring. As a gaming fan, it's exhausting to wake up every day and see this shit. Like it doesn't get to me because it's hilarious. Because Xbox just keeps winning.
Yeah, I disconnect. Listen, what I had to do was disconnect myself from it. Don't I don't follow this shit every day or none of that shit, or don't put too much energy. That way, when I see this silly shit, I see it for what it is. It's all a joke, right? I'm glad you mentioned a few things, because I saw this article 4 hours ago. Came out 4 articles about how Xbox has made billions on Halo, and nearly 2 billion of it doesn't even come from games, which means merchandise, TV, and all that other stuff, right? So Xbox makes so much money. One game, just the Halo franchise, E-Rock.
Just one in their game.
That's it. Makes billions, yeah. And we're not even talking about the game alone. When they say a huge chunk doesn't come from the games, they mean the TV show, the revenue from TV show, the revenue from any type of Halo figures or Halo. You know what I'm saying? And here's another one. And shout out to Tuck, who I'm going to let speak in a second. He said this to us the other day. Diablo made $1 billion and counting. Who owns Diablo again? E-Rock.
Xbox, Microsoft.
Boom. And that's why Microsoft could do stuff like this. Spend over $1 billion annually to get third-party games on Game Pass.
I saw somebody in the comment section. Well, that $1 billion that Diablo made had nothing to do with Xbox. They are so salty because Xbox is winning.
Listen, they're either salty or their level of stupidity is so dumb. I wouldn't be able to even respond to that. I can't respond to that. That's so stupid that I read it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to talk to third graders. You know what I'm saying? But I see Hebot and Tuck join, so I'm gonna let them speak. Guys, it's not gonna be 2 hour show, so we're gonna try to get our thoughts out there and enjoy our weekend. But Tuck, you there?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So Tuck, as always, it's always Xbox fault, like E-Rock says, right? And Xbox is even being blamed for the PlayStation Pro being $700. As apparently lack of competition from Xbox is why. Even though as everything I showed on screen, and as E-Rock has brilliantly said, and what I said before you got here, Tuck, the truth of the matter is Sony. Listen, guys, we on the Unlimited Truth, we hold these companies feet to the fire. I held Phil's feet to the fire about how he communicated Indiana Jones.
Yes, you did.
And after I spoke my mind, I got over it. But what y'all don't do that. Y'all go through a level of denial.
Mental gymnastics.
Yes.
Unseen in the history of mental gymnastics.
Yeah. Listen, there's a reason why there's no mental gymnastics Olympics, because PlayStation fanboys and the media will win every year. You know what I'm saying? But Tuck, man, let me get your thoughts on this. Do you think we're wrong in that Xbox is the blame for the PS Pro, or what's your thoughts, man?
Hey, first of all, I'm gonna pause right quick, okay? Let's just hear crickets. We ain't hearing nothing from. The PS fans are crying over crickets because they don't have nothing. Let's get this straight.
They got Astrobot.
Like you said, look at this. 4 million. Concord reported cost them $4 million to make.
400 million.
$400 million to make.
Yeah, nigga, you a few $100 million short, nigga.
So let me ask you this: whose fault is that? Is that Microsoft's fault?
Nope.
Is that Xbox fault?
Nope.
No. Put that blame all on Sony. Sony, hey, when Jim Ryan came out and said a couple years ago that they cannot survive without Call of Duty. Everybody's the far front of what the hell's going on. And that's just the truth. They said they couldn't do it, and everything is coming out to what's going on. Hell, you making all these damn remastered games. What for PS5 Pro to come out, which people don't really ain't liking. They don't want that crap. People don't want that crap. Even the devs, they told them a long time ago, why are you even coming out with a PS5 Pro? They got a lot to do with. They got a lot more to do with these systems now. But yeah, I understand the reason why they had to come out with one, because they don't have the power of the Xbox Series X at all. Let's just be truthful of the whole damn thing. That system is going to flop. They're already flopping already.
No, you wrong about that, Tuck.
Huh?
You wrong about that. I hate the PS5 Pro, nigga. Please, the scalpers is gonna buy that up.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, my nigga, they already bought that shit, my nigga. They bought the disc drives. They in line waiting with bated breath for GameStop to open. Nigga, are you serious? They gonna sell them. You gonna see BGM Gamer and Crap Gamer and Broken Games HD buying PS5 Pros for $2,500 and justifying why they paid that $2,000 for it.
I can't wait for them to be like, man, here goes my life savings just to buy a console.
Just so I can go on Twitter. It ain't about the games. Just so they can go on Twitter.
Yeah.
And the thing, man, it doesn't have, and everybody want to turn around and try to compare it to a what they try to compare it to a 7740. Or is that 4070?
It's called a 4070. It's a GP graphics card for PC. Yeah. I mean, listen, look. Here's the thing, and this is what I was saying earlier. But before y'all jumped in, Tuck, the thing about the PlayStation is that whenever something like this happens, they hyper focus on it to the point. Listen, PlayStation fans, they don't know how to just enjoy things for their own merit. They don't say, "Man, I enjoyed Astro Bot. It was a great game. You should pick it up." Like a normal gamer would. Like E-Rock does. Like E-Rock will play a game, he'll be like, "Yo, this game was brilliant. I love the art style and all this other stuff, right? Or I had a blast with it." That's how he got people turned on to games like the game with Amicia. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, Plague Tale.
Yeah, Plague Tale. By simply being a gamer playing, but what they do instead is like, this is better than Mario. This is the greatest platformer ever.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been an experience like this ever. And people and everybody who plays games are like, you're full of shit. Stop, you know what I'm saying? And since they go to such extreme, they don't realize how fucking annoying they are, and that's why they get so much backlash. Because if PlayStation fans weren't a cult, Tuck, and they just like, hey, I can't wait to play the PS5 Pro, everybody will leave them the fuck alone. But since they gotta literally justify it, and pretend they're not corporate. By the way, how much of a corporate slave you gotta be to justify getting price gouged this bad? You know what I'm saying, right? And to the point where they're trying to pretend it's better than these $2,000 PCs and that no Xbox game is going to run well. It's so stupid, over the top, and silly, right? That everybody's pushing back against them because they're fucking annoying idiots. And they don't know how to stay in their own lane. But continue.
No, they don't. They don't know how to stay in their own lane at all. I mean, let's talk about all these, these remastered games. Days Gone. Hell, the damn developer want to make a new one. Mm-hmm. He wants to make a brand new Days Gone too. But no, that's a slap in his face.
Yeah. Well, you know why Sony's not going to greenlight a new one, right?
Oh hell, they broke.
Yeah, well, yeah, that and the game didn't have a high enough Metacritic, and Sony are the only one retarded enough to care about that shit.
Matter of fact, you know what? You're right, because that game didn't do all that great.
No, that game wasn't that good, but and it didn't have a and since it didn't review, like, so that's how stupid and behind the times Sony is, and they want to blame Xbox. Yeah, Xbox guys, Xbox is the only one who's moving gaming forward. You know what I'm saying? And let me say this, Tuck, and I'll let you continue in a second. It really hit me this week, E-Rock, Tuck, and Hebot, on how, like, if Xbox wasn't around, I'd be at best a retro gamer, or
Yeah,
something.
me too.
Because it would be, I mean, between Sony's nonsense and Nintendo suing the Power World's devs because they deserve hate too. I don't know how they get it past. It's like, dude, gaming would be stuck. Gaming would not have progressed past the year
Nintendo
2006.
doesn't even own the Pokemon license. What
Yeah, and
Nintendo has is the rights to make Pokemon games. They were granted that. Only they
yeah,
can do it. They don't even own
yeah,
the license. The
yeah,
nerve
but
of them.
yeah, and Power World's not Pokemon, but my main point is that if Xbox wasn't around, dude, we have no Game Pass, we had no quick resume. Activision probably would have went under because nobody
No
would have
smart
been able to
delivery,
afford
no
them.
boost mode.
Uh, yeah, there would be no Bethesda wouldn't be around anymore because they would let nobody would they would let them go by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Tucker always talk about how Xbox is saving games and all this stuff. And hell, and then after today's report about how over $1 billion spent annually on third-party games, we know that they're literally funding a lot of these games just by getting them on Game Pass.
That-
Now imagine if none of that existed.
That's why we.
Gaming
That's why
would
we. That's
suck.
why. That's why we push back so hard,
Yeah.
man. Because a lot of these gamers aren't as old as we are. Some of these gamers are in their 30s, maybe even their 20s, man. And PlayStation was their first console, and there's nothing
Yes.
wrong with that. But me and Hebot and Sega Man were around when the Japanese ran gaming from the mid 80s to about 2001 when
Mhm.
Xbox dropped, right?
Yeah.
Xbox was a disruptor, and it didn't bother them that first 5 years. It bothered them when the Xbox 360 came. That their little favorite Japanese consoles was never going to run gaming again. And Sony and Nintendo, they want shit back the way it was, but they know it's not going to go back. So what you do is you have these cults, these massive cults of Nintendo. The Nintendo fans really aren't harmful. They're just annoying as fuck. But
Yeah.
it's the PlayStation's cult. They want things to be the way it was so bad that they're willing to turn. These are Americans now. Okay, I'm not talking about the Europeans or the Japanese who don't even really play video games any fucking more. You got Americans who want to see an American company fail and want to see these Japanese have dominance again. And if you were around like me and Hebot were in the 90s, Sega's not as guilty of it as Sony. We've seen Sony bully publishers. We've seen Sony bully developers. We've seen Sony fucking bullied around fucking Nintendo. Okay, we've seen this company do so much shit. And so when you sit and say, "Oh, you guys hate PlayStation," we hate PlayStation. No, we don't. But we have decades of evidence to show that times change, companies come and go, and thank God that an American company has been moving gaming forward. Because the Japanese ain't got to tell us what they're going to do. They're showing us what they want to do. $700 consoles, Nintendo. The hell if you'll ever get backwards compatibility out of a fucking Nintendo box ever again. So the Japanese are showing us the audacity to release a $700 mid-generation refresh that's barely powerful than your last box, and then announce your next box, and then announce a 30th anniversary box for $1,200. This is hubris and arrogance at a whole new level. But if you're me and Hebot, and you've been following PlayStation for 25 years or 30 years, you know this ain't nothing new from our friends over in Osaka. They can get away with this because Colin Moriarty, Dustin Legary, Geoff Keighley, and the entire audience will always glaze these fucking Japs and always glaze Sony and Nintendo. I'm sorry, I gotta speak. I gotta speak my mind. They'll always glaze these Japanese companies like there's some kind of gods and give Microsoft shit, who has made gaming affordable to people like me. I don't have the money to buy gaming this year like I did in previous years. Microsoft and Ubisoft Plus has made it so I don't have to have a whole bunch of money. And so it's a bad thing to have choices. It's a bad thing. You guys are telling me, you PlayStation fans are telling me, you actually want shit to go back to the way it was in the 90s and early 2000s. Fuck you. We're not going back, okay? No. If I got to get out and push the Xbox truck down the street, I'm going to get out and push it because if Xbox goes, which they're not, they're a $675 billion company owned by $1 trillion company. We're not going to get through, so y'all hear this beyond me, versus a $78 billion company, which is PlayStation or Sony. If Xbox was to ever leave, like Unlimited Production said, I'd be into retro gaming because I am not going to pay $70 for fucking games. I'm not going to pay $700 for a static fucking box only to have the PC guys laugh at me because your shit can't run at 60 FPS. So I mean, I hated to get on that long tirade, but this is I'm so sick of seeing this shit every fucking day. All of this unwarranted Xbox hate. It's about as ridiculous as the unwarranted Ubisoft hate. But I've come to realize that these guys aren't gamers; they're all casuals, and they all parrot. Wow,
Yes.
Hollywood Cracker. They all parrot the same shit. The media and IGN and Colin Moriarty and all of these fucking idiots. And when Unlimited Production said that he was done with gaming and he wanted to leave, like I got it. I did not say, no, man, you can't do that, man. You got to come out here every week and do the goddamn. I got it, man. I got why you don't want to be around these fucking clowns anymore. Anytime they do a survey, one of those magazines does a survey, and they did a survey and they asked women, what do you find unattractive about men? And the first number one answer, plays video games. Do you know why? Because you guys come off as fucking lunatics about these plastic fucking toys. And the worst culprits is these Sony PlayStation fans, this media that worships these Japanese like a fucking cult. Man, it's time to move on. Gaming has moved on beyond the Japanese. But these guys, Unlimited Production, I'm sorry to be so long-winded. They ain't letting go, bro. They're gonna fight you and Hebot to the end because y'all play Xbox.
Yeah.
Sorry about the tirade.
And here's the kick. No, beautiful tirade, E-Rock. But here's the kicker. They're fighting a battle I'm not even fighting anymore. Because you know what I'm saying? They don't realize. It's like they don't realize that as soon as we're done here, we go back to our lives. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday night, so I'm gonna go get some. I'm gonna go out and get some drinks tonight. That's my Friday routine.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, hey man, that's my Friday routine, man. Most Fridays I go out.
You're not going to Twitter. You're not scanning the news looking for any negative Xbox news.
No.
These motherfuckers, they be in the library scanning microfilm and shit.
they don't realize. Listen, I noticed that they don't realize that we have lives outside of gaming. And two, like you said, they don't realize how big Xbox and Microsoft is. They you know what I'm saying? But Tuck, you got anything else to add before I move on to Hebot?
Yeah, I got something else to say about that. Let me ask you this. Now I want to ask you one question about this, okay? Now, ever since we started with this place, with this new generation and everything, what has Sony really have done? What has Sony and Nintendo really have done?
Nothing.
All they've just made remasters, and that's it.
Mario, year after year. Zelda, year after year, Tuck.
Yeah, they always talk about their consoles and all that stuff. Y'all, these consoles is not selling, and they're not playing them no more. Everybody wants to talk about Nintendo. Wait a second. Okay, listen here. Nintendo gonna come out with the Switch 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do we know anything about it? No, we do not. No, we do not. But I guarantee you right now, when Xbox come out, day in hell, it's gonna blow people's minds. So get ready for that. I mean, I'm hoping that Microsoft damage that market for Nintendo. I really do.
Hey, Tuck, can I ask you a question? Somebody in the comment section said that PlayStation is no longer a Japanese company because one of their headquarters is in California. Could somebody tell me who the president right now of PlayStation is?
Oh yeah.
We can't even pronounce his fucking name. Is so Japanese. He has the most Japanese name you ever fucking seen. So PlayStation is a Japanese company.
So even though they're over here, they still run the company.
Yes, thank you, Tuck.
They still run the company either way it goes.
Sega of America was only American in name only. The Japs ran the show, and that's why Dreamcast and that's why Sega's no longer here.
Yeah. But my point about this handheld, the Xbox coming out with, just think about it, fellas. If you buy it, you can play it everywhere. You can play your Game Pass games on it and everything. So it's coming to fruition by what Microsoft said. They want gamers to enjoy everywhere. So man, look at
See,
all
Microsoft. Let me piggyback off you what you said, Tuck. Microsoft realized years ago, and people just don't want to seem to understand this, that there are a lot of gamers who aren't into, say, consoles, or there are console people who will never play on PC, or there are PC people who will never play on handhelds. And Microsoft is like, well, let's just target everyone.
Cell phone people who aren't going to buy a box.
Yeah, exactly. Cell phone people who are never going to buy a box, right? And so since and this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt since all of us are console people here. But since the console market is not growing, and they got to make money elsewhere. And listen, if we're going to demand games that have all these features and do all this stuff, and and new IPs, and bring back existing IPs at the same time, and give us sequels at the same time, you know what I'm saying? This shit costs money. And the truth of the matter is, it's listen. I keep trying to tell you guys, it's not 2004 anymore, where you could release Def Jam Vendetta and then the next year Def Jam 540 New York, and they're both quality games made at a very good budget. And you could sell 1 million copies of each, and that's considered a financial success. In the 4K 60 era, where 4K seems to cost a lot of bandwidth and all this stuff and a lot of memory, from my understanding, this shit costs money, time, and energy. And the truth of the matter is, if it weren't for Game Pass, we wouldn't be able to have it both ways. But thanks to Game Pass, we do. We get affordability, and we get all these huge games day one, right? And this is what Tuck, and this is what you just, and at this point, I'm in the same line of E-Rock of, if they want to stay sleep, or however he says it, because I'll come up here, tell you guys the truth, but I don't waste my time. Listen, after this year, when I had my little moment of I want to get the fuck out of here, I disassociated from this shit. I talk about it and get back to real life, but they don't get my energy for a good reason.
The main thing I see from everybody in the gaming media these days, and in the gaming community, is we don't understand what Xbox is doing, and neither did I. The same way Unlimited Production back in 2008, I didn't understand what Netflix was doing. Wait a minute, you got a good business model, man. Y'all send me my little DVDs once a month. No, man, no. They were moving on to some other shit.
Yeah.
We don't have a device. We don't have a Fire Stick. We don't have nothing. You can get Netflix on your console, your cell phone. They was moving on to some other shit, right? So as baffling as Xbox moves may seem right now, the true innovators and the true companies that grow in this space are the ones that make the baffler moves. The Apple, the Netflix, right? The ones that are going to die off, or the ones that are stuck in yesterday. Console sales, the numbers of boxes sold, and only now with Concord's failure is Sony beginning to see that this shit is going to be a lot harder than they thought without Call of Duty. Yes. This shit going to be a lot harder than they thought. Anytime Astrobot fucking failed, what else of y'all is going to fail? And so what Unlimited Production just said about gaming being so difficult to sell a game, to market a game, to develop a game and get a game out there, you will have somebody who will counterpoint Unlimited and say, well, Unlimited Production, you know what you're talking about. What about Black Myth Wukong? A game like Black Myth Wukong is an outlier. A game like Elden Ring is an outlier.
E-Rock, we literally get that one game every year. 2022 was Elden Ring. Last week it was Baldur's Gate. This year, and then everybody pretends we'll treat that one game like it's this revolutionary thing, and it doesn't happen, and for good reason.
This is why I fucks with you. Go on.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen for good reason. And then all that happens that the game companies that follow, that try to copy that success, their shit fails. And not only does it fail, the same people who are like, we need more of this, bitches about it. Like, well, why are you just copying off Elden Ring? Why are you just copying off Black Myth? That's all that happens. You know what I'm saying?
And worse still is you got a huge, and it's frighteningly so, a huge segment of the gaming media now and gamers who now for the last 5 or 6 years are deliberately out here sabotaging game. What do you mean, E-Rock? We've seen it. They tried to. They did not try to sabotage Hogwarts Legacy, but that backfired because there were more Harry Potter fans out here than they ever fucking imagined. Even dumbass Warner Brothers ever fucking imagined, right?
Yes.
Y'all tried to sabotage Gotham. Gotham Knights, right? Y'all tried to sabotage Suicide Squad versus Justice League, which worked. Y'all sabotaged God damn it, the vampire game the Xbox had come out last year, Redfall. And right now they are actively trying to put the screws to a legitimately good game called Star Wars Outlaws, which I'm liking right now.
And the other Ubisoft game coming out next month. Assassin's Creed
Shadows. So
I had no clue. I had no clue white folks was masters of Japanese history until Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Neither did I. And I'm a student of world history, and I don't understand everything about Japanese history. But apparently, these motherfuckers do. Yeah. Everything is wrong. The trees is wrong. Why is there a black samurai? Google doesn't exist. There's no need unlimited to ever Google anything and find out that there was a black samurai named what's the name?
Yasuke.
Yeah, Yasuke. So they're pissed about that. They're pissed about that there's a woman in Star Wars Outlaws. Yeah. So it's like if gaming sucks, it's your fault.
Yeah,
it's your fault.
Star Wars Outlaws is so good. I was helping my brother move last weekend. We were talking about it. He literally bought him a system just to play Star Wars.
Wow,
he saw my live. He saw because I did a little live stream of it when it first came out. He saw my live stream. He's like, "Yo, this game looks good." And he like my brother. He's a Star Wars fan to the same extent I'm a DC fan. Like that's his shit. That Star Wars is shit. So he's like, "Yo, I love my Star Wars." He saw my gameplay. He was like, "Yeah, I gotta play it. You know what I'm saying?
It does have some things that David Jaffe complained about. Like I really don't like using the data spikes, but it took me about a few weeks to figure out how to do that shit. You know what I mean? And once you figure out how to do it, it's not so hard. Here's the thing: you're not a goddamn Jedi. You're a thief, and you got to do thief shit like sneak around and do stealth, and you just can't go around killing folks with lightsabers. And that maybe is what turned people off. But once that game gets fucking rolling, like not to give any spoilers away, Unlimited Production, but the robot finally joined me. Yes. So once the robot joins you, the game starts rolling. Yeah, I'm digging Star Wars Outlaws, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a good game.
I love it. Listen, man, everybody knows I love my Ubisoft stuff, and this is why, man. I love that game. It was crazy. Oh, go ahead.
You guys can hear me? You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Backlash with the Star Wars is because what happened is the main character, that girl, is the model that plays it. If you see her in real life, she's really, really a pretty girl. And a woman, rather. And what happened is they deliberately changed her and kind of uglified her because they're trying to act like you can't have pretty women in games anymore. That stupid thing. That's what the main that's the main that the people that are complaining, that's the main backlash.
But there's only one thing about it, man. The girl's an outlaw.
But that has nothing to do with girl character. Is the model of that played her. They deliberately changed her look to make her look ugly because you know how they're trying to say you can't have pretty women in games, like you can't have them looking undressed and naked the way they did with Street Fighter. And now all the girls have black clothes and they don't let no cleavage. That's what they were complaining about. But that's stupid shit. The fucking video game. Why would it matter if she looks sexy or have anything? You know what I mean? That's why I feel
and by the way, here's why I call bullshit on that, because I know they didn't buy Lollipop Chainsaw, which that game has nothing but sex appeal.
Oh, that game is good.
Yeah, it's a great game, but Tuck, damn. Look, 5 minutes into the game, that game starts with taking a shower.
They're not gonna buy that because they didn't buy the first one, and these guys.
That's my point. You listen. Money speaks more than any YouTube video, more than any podcast. Like you can make a podcast every day bitching about XYZ.
Yeah.
You know what? Listen, if Lollipop Chainsaw Repop sold Wukong numbers, I guarantee you, motherfuckers, there'll be companies that'll stop being stubborn on that shit. Like, all right, we gotta throw some second pills back in game.
That's another thing. That's another thing. You know, so having really
You bought bad. You bought.
Yeah.
Nobody is really buying the good games. You know what I mean? They're just buying whatever is, because Outlaws is not doing well financially either. You know what I mean?
Why they're not buying a good
Even though it looks like a good game.
Because they listen to all these damn new good ass YouTubers.
A lot of.
But Chuck, the reality of it is, and we can't keep on acting like it's not the reality. The reality of it is, these guys rather buy Madden, buy a 2K.
Oh yeah, look, we talked about
Duty, GTA, the same old shit, and that's why great games like Lost and Random and Straight Roads and fucking Big School don't do as well. That's why.
Yeah, like for example, there's a game for $20 I bought yesterday.
Just buying the same old.
Yeah.
Game.
Yeah, we discussed that. We've discussed this earlier on another podcast about months ago. So we're aware of current buying habits. Because hell, like, and I don't expect people to do what I did yesterday. Spent $20 on this little game called Akambot or something like that. Cool little platform.
Oh, you're talking about Kimbot.
Yeah, Kimbot.
It's the same guys. I bought it too. It's the same guys who did
it's only $20.
Pumpkin Jack.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. That's why I bought it because that's why I bought it because it's only $20. I'm like, $20. No new game is that damn cheap. You know what I'm saying? So I bought it, played it a little bit, one little platformer. I don't expect people to do that, but some of the games that haven't really made a dent does surprise me. But that's not the topic of today's show. Heba, I'm gonna let you speak. Then we're gonna wrap it up with Sega Man because this is not a 2-hour podcast type show. But I do thank you all for joining. So hey, Sega Man, Bill, how are you, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Oh, we good, man. We good. Hey, I'm gonna get your thoughts on this in a second. But Heba did come in first. So
Unlimited. Yeah, Unlimited. Let's take him and go first because I think he's at work. He might not be able to stay.
Oh yeah, great point. Great. Oh yeah. So Sega Man.
Let him first.
Yeah, Sega Man. I completely forgot about that. So Sega Man, real quick.
What's up, brother?
So you know the PlayStation 5 Pro that, as you said, does a little bit more. It's $600. well, guess who's getting blamed for that? Xbox.
Microsoft.
Yep, yeah. Microsoft. So I want to get your thoughts, man. Do you think it's Xbox fault Sony is charging $700 for a fucking console and all this other price gouging they're doing? Or do you think it's a result of Sony and their bad business practices?
Well, I guess we got to go with the flow, right? I don't. But, of course, we always get blamed for everything. The thing is, me, you, E-Rock, E-Bot, Brother Tuck, all of us, Zinc, we're used to that. We're used to that. We get blamed. It doesn't matter what Sony does. It doesn't matter what Xbox themselves does. We get blamed for everything. Everything that goes wrong with Sony, it's always Microsoft or Xbox's fault. Because anytime a company gets blamed for everything, they're doing really good.
Yeah.
Anytime a company gets blamed for everything up under the sun, that they're doing really good. It's always the opposite, man. It's always the opposite. The PlayStation 5 Pro, okay? This is really a very bad decision to bring that thing out right now. It's been getting clowned up and down these gaming streets. It's been getting clowned. Every time I turn on my Series X, or if I'm chilling in the bedroom on the 1X or whatever, and I turn on YouTube, that's all you see, people saying, wow, $700, like flipping out about it. You know what I mean?
That's all bullshit, though, Sega Man. They're still going to buy it. I guarantee you. If y'all haven't listened to anything I've said this last 4 years we know each other, believe that. They're going to buy this shit. The scalpers have already bought it.
Yeah, and you know what, E-Rock, you make a good point there. But it's just so dumb. It's just so dumb to do that because, look, there's a lot of guys out there, okay? There's real cats out there that like PlayStation. Let's keep it a buck, all right? Let's just keep it a buck tonight. There's real guys out there that are those cats out there that like PlayStation that are not trolls or nothing. They like the PlayStation brand, and they can't afford it. I talked to a dude today at work today, and he told me, because he seen my Switch. I had my Switch in my hand. He said, "Oh," I said, "No, I'm really an Xbox dude, but I play this like on the go." And he said, "Well, I'm a PlayStation dude." And I said, "Oh, real?" I said, "What you playing on right now? You got PS4?" He's like, "Yeah, but I'm trying my best to get a PS5."
Wow.
I'm trying my best to get a PS5. He said, "I'm still playing on the 4. I can't afford a PS5, but I'm saving up for a
that
PS5."
nigga's still analog.
Yeah. So he actually said that, man. He said he's saving up for PS5. This dude I work with.
That's the majority of them Sega, man, but they love being a part of the argument. Like they own an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5. And the PlayStation 5 Pro, Tony, Sega, man, is going to sell out. It's going to sell out because they've hated y'all for 4 years that y'all had the most powerful console. So they got to get one back on y'all. What? Mark my words. Watch. That motherfucker's going to sell out. I guarantee you.
I think it'll sell E-Rock, but at that price, I don't know.
I think the
I don't
initial
know.
batch. I think the initial batch is going to sell out. Then after that, it's going to plateau.
Yeah,
you know what? You know what? I love you. I love you guys, but you are the news media in 1979 that did not believe that the Jim Jones cult was going to drink that Kool-Aid. And when so it's going to take them
like this. You got to think about it like this.
It's going to take for the Sony audience to drink that Kool-Aid for y'all to be true believers.
You got to think about it like this. If 50% of their players are still on PlayStation 4, right? Which is technically a last generation console, right? They're not going to migrate. The people that really want it are not going to migrate to a 700 plus, really an 850 plus console just to play a little bit better. They're not going to do that. What they're going to do is, like you said earlier, the scalpers definitely will do that because of the FOMO, because they're going to think they're going to, fear of missing out, thinking they're going to capitalize, getting suckers to pay $1,200, $1,500 just to buy it, which they will find a few, right? And then the ones that are fanaticos, the extremists, maybe somebody like an MBG, right?
Yeah.
They'll go out and buy it. But after that, it will dwindle because they're just, look, if they didn't buy the PS5 and they're still on PS4, they're not going to buy $850 console for just a little bit more power, because that's what happened with the VR. VR, they stopped making it, manufacturing, because they only sold 600,000 and they got overstocked and they lost like $1 billion. Okay, so if it sells, then I'll come back and apologize to you straight up, my friend, because you did call it out tonight, and I will not forget. But I
called it out last week.
I seriously doubt anybody with a brain cell will be that stupid and spend that much for something that's not giving them enough.
Well, there's definitely people dumb enough to buy it, but
I mean, in the mask. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Big
but if but if 50% are still on PS4, I think it's a tough sell for them to be like, they didn't want to spend $500 on the PS5. They're going to spend $700 on the Pro. Yeah, I don't know about that either.
Unlimited.
But
brother, Unlimited, man, brother.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, most of the people I talk to that are true gamers where I live at are on PS4s. They're not even on a 5 yet. They're not even on the vanilla. They're not even on the vanilla. They're still on a PS4.
Yeah. So I mean, but we'll see. Listen, either way it goes, it's still fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? But let's say if E-Rock's right, you know what's going to happen? Sony's still not going to make as much money as Xbox. They're still going to waste money, hundreds of millions of dollars on games nobody's going to buy, and we're going to be back here. We're going to be back here. At worst, will be like apologizing to E-Rock. Okay, E-Rock, you're right. It did well. It did better than we thought. You know what I'm saying? Long term, but Sony still ain't going to be shit.
Y'all don't think I want to see Sega, man. You don't think I want to see PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 Pro flop for the utter audacity of y'all asking $700 for a console with no disc drive? But we are talking about the PlayStation Nation, okay? These
that's
are
right.
built differently, okay?
Look. I got no doubt in my mind that the usual suspects are 100% going to drop $700 on that. Hell, some of them are going to be stupid enough to buy from scalpers. I'm just wondering. My thing is like, after them and after the idiots, they might convert. I'm
Bro,
going like
Broken Games HD is already justifying why he's going to
yes,
buy one. So if he's justifying why he's going to buy
yeah,
one,
he
then
yeah.
Smooth is
But
Recording
you
his
know,
justifying
he's a
video.
ball maker of sorts. So he
We're
does.
recording the video in his basement. You know, in 720p, and you could barely hear him through his mic. He's justifying it. I could definitely see that shit.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like if that's just one of them, then Jabari Clark is justifying why $700 is a good buy for him.
All of them
MGB
are.
and to me, it's like, yo, this is who these guys are. There's no need. Like nothing was surprising at this point with them.
Oh, good. Yeah, okay. I could understand. What was that second man?
You know what's really sad? I'm gonna land my plane because I definitely want to hear E-Rock and I want to hear y'all's opinion.
Oh no, you talk, brother. My bad.
Yeah. Sorry, second man.
Definitely want to hear you guys' opinion on it. The thing is, even in brother E-Bot too, because E-Bot is getting off on some good points when it comes to this PlayStation 5 Pro. What is the real reason, honestly, guys? Honestly, you guys' opinion. What's the real reason to really buy this thing right now? They don't have nothing that can show the power of it. They don't have nothing coming out that's going to show the power of the thing. Why buy the thing right now? You're fine with the PlayStation 5. Look, if that's what they want to do, I understand that. But why are you buying the thing right now? For what? What's the reason for buying a PS5 Pro? Seriously.
Yeah, let me start on this, and then we'll go down, and then after that I'm gonna move on to Hebot because I'm not trying to do a 2-hour show. We're already over an hour in, second man. But yeah, for the ones who are justifying, they're not rational, all right, and for them having something over Xbox means more than literally everything. They don't care what game it is. They don't care how much it'll cost. Yes. As long as they think it's over Xbox, they are going to justify it anyway.
My nigga, you get it.
Yeah. So it does not matter when listen. The PS5 Pro could have been $1,000, and they would have been. And they would have been like, I mean, shit. My hoopty costs more than that. You know what I'm saying? They would have said some stupid shit like that.
The price of eggs are expensive now, so that's justified.
Yeah. So them. That's why. And here's the thing. I admit I was a little naive in the sense that I thought that there's going to just be even if it's going to be 5 minutes of them being like, this is kind of fucked up, Sony. That was my fault for thinking I should ever give them the benefit of the doubt, even something this extreme. But no, it didn't happen. And so those are the ones who like, yo, I'm pretty sure those are one that E-Rock are seeing left and right. Like them
right. But ball lickers like, let's say, MBG, Jabari Clark, Porter Rock, whatever, right? Those guys, right? The only reason is what E-Rock said earlier too, because E-Rock gave himself his own answer. The only reason they want to buy one is because they're just so fucking mad and denial that they don't want to accept the fact that the Series X was better.
Yo,
and they're so desperate to find something that it's better than the Xbox Series X. That's now we're talking back again the narrative of power. If you notice, that's what people are doing.
Yeah,
even though it has no game.
Oh, damn it. Well,
I'm there. I mean, I just say even though it has no game, then I'm muted, so y'all can finish.
Okay, yeah. E-Rock, man, you got any other answer to Sega Man's question?
Oh no, man! It's just everybody's saying, man. Listen, if you're wondering how stupid things have gotten, just look around you, man. So to expect the PlayStation community to be the bastions of common sense at this late date, no, it ain't happening, bro. It ain't happening. Them niggas, that console is already sold out, brother. The next that console. And listen, PlayStation will only ship 3 of them over here so it can sell out. That console is sold out, nigga. E-Rock,
I kid you not, man. I could 100% see some shit like they ship 100,000 over here. They sell out, and everybody reporting the PS5 Pro sold out. And everybody trying to report that without any context.
Xbox is dead. See, Xbox is doomed.
I can see that stupid shit. But Tuck, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, y'all.
Yeah, man. Hey, Cygnus, sales don't matter. All right, until them sales progress to them be able to buy Activision and Bethesda. Don't tell me about sales, Cygnus. But Tuck, you got any other answer to Sega Man's question about why they would even buy it?
And that's gonna make common sense to everybody. Okay, don't forget that when the PS3 came out, how much was that listed for? $600.
$700 in some places.
And they had to break that price. They had to bring that down to turn around. Watch this thing.
The PS3.
It's not going to sell.
Yeah.
What's not going to sell?
Yeah.
I think when the PS3 first came out, it was $600. Okay, because don't forget, everybody's going to buy that cell processor crap.
Mm-hmm.
Watch and see. It's not going to sell.
Well, that was different, Tuck. A lot of folks had migrated from 2005 to 2008. A lot of folks had not migrated from the PS2 yet because that console was a goddamn beast. This is a completely different scenario. When you have this mid-generation refresh at $700, and the PlayStation Nation, they were not a cult back then like they were now. This is I've never seen anything like this. Not the Marvel fans, not nothing. Well, I have seen it, but I can't mention it here because it's politics. But when you see a cult in action,
hold on. When did we censor ourselves on this podcast?
The reason why I'm saying that this thing will not sell, the economy is still bad, y'all.
What the fuck did the economy got to do with the PlayStation cult? They will work extra shifts at Walmart. They will rob a nigga. They will do whatever they got to do to get this PlayStation 5 Pro.
It took 15 years. It took 15
Shit,
years.
them niggas might sell their sister, nigga. Shit.
Yo, are you serious? Hebot's local GameStop, because Hebot got big time connections, connections, right? That motherfucker is going to be sold out. You can't find a disc drive on Amazon. Amazon, goddammit, you can't find a disc drive.
Hey,
those disc drives been sitting there. In all fairness, those disc drives have been sitting there for the longest. You heard?
The disc drives. So don't.
Yeah, the disc drive has been sitting there for the longest since they announced the other digital one that you could attach it to the Slim, and they didn't buy them. So now the scalpers, because they know the hype for the Pro is out there, they've been buying them out because they're planning ahead. They're planning ahead, but I don't think it's gonna work out in their favor the way they think they're not for that.
Yeah.
It's that price. That price is fucking crazy. That price is crazy.
That price is crazy.
I would love for y'all to be right, man, but I've seen some crazy shit out of these PlayStation fans.
Yeah. Well, you're right. You're right. I mean, expect the unexpected, especially from that clown. That motherfucker.
Because he bought Sega Man. You guys do know that if Xbox had said they were coming out with a $700 mid-gen refresh, the fucking backlash and they would have got.
Although I'm happy Xbox not doing a mid-gen refresh, a part of me wish it existed just because I would love to have seen the
reaction, right?
Opposite. Yeah, and how blatantly poorly like I could literally see a situation if that happened, E-Rock, where IGN Gary will literally on the same show will praise the PS5 Pro but shit on the Xbox for being expensive.
What I'm gonna tell you when you ask me watch what I'm gonna tell you, you aren't gonna believe what I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's pass the mic over to Hebot. I want to wrap it up in about 20, 30 minutes or so.
Give me the question. Give me the question.
So Hebot, somehow, some way, and this is why I love hanging out with you guys, because you guys are more prophetic. Was it prophetic?
More prophetic than the great fucking Elijah Muhammad.
Then Elijah Muhammad and Nostradamus put together with the all-seeing eye, right? Because he I could have sworn E-Rock said some shit like "watch them blame Xbox." I could have sworn he said that, right? And lo and behold, it's Xbox fault apparently that the PS5 Pro is $700. And let me add some extra context, right? It's not that Final Fantasy didn't sell, or Astrobot, the game they're pretending to play, didn't sell, as you see on screen, or that Sony's selling another remaster, Horizon, which came out 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. So it's not that. It's not the fact that Sony were the first to raise the prices to $70. They raised the price of the standard PS5 price increase in every other market, but the US, I believe. They raised the price of controller. See, it's not all that. It's Xbox fault. So let me so let me get your thoughts. Is it really Xbox fault or is it Sony's shitty business practices?
I mean, it's Xbox fault because Xbox is not Sega. They got money and they're mad because they're not going nowhere. That's why it's Xbox fault. Bottom line, look, it's just like you were pointing out. It's not Sony. It's not because Sony's trying to recuperate money from the loss of Spider-Man spending $320 million and it didn't sell the way it was supposed to. It's not from. It has nothing to do because they got a bombastic lawsuit from taking away all the games overseas that were digital from a bunch of people that they had like a $2.8 billion lawsuit that they lost. It has nothing to do with the PSVR not selling and then like in $1 million loss as well, $1 billion loss on that. It's not because of the $400 million of Concord being lost. No, it's none of that. Absolutely not. Look, that is why they're trying to keep making those remasters. That is because they need to fill in the gap until they can bring out the actual newer stuff that they might be working on, like Death Stranding 2 or Kopei Kojima, right? Or the upcoming, because you'll know they're going to get a Ghost of Tsushima 2 because it did fairly well. So in order for them to be able to monetize that and be able to pay for that, they have to make up the cost somewhere. That's why you saw they were the first ones this generation to bring up the price of the games from 60, from 60 to 70. That's why you saw they brought up the price up for the fucking for the fucking controller $5, right? That's why you saw that they brought up the price for their service more than Xbox with no day and dates. That's why you saw they took out all their affiliation with the movies. There's no movie store because they had to pay license fees for those movies in their store, and they took it all out. That's why they consolidated Funimation with Crunchyroll to have only one entity in anime after they bought both of them and monopolized that video via VOD market with the anime space, right? That's why they've lost, they're not trying to recuperate it by all the money they lost with Venom 2 and with the animation, the second one to the Miles Morales or Spider-Verse, whatever, so they lost money on that. And Ghostbusters 2 didn't do well for them. Listen, Sony has to make up money, but they know that their fan base will take whatever they give them and eat it up, believe it. These guys think that this console is an equivalent to a 470. When a 470 can't even do what they're promising to do. If you go look at all these technical analysis from different people, not just Digital Foundry, they're all saying that it's not going to do that. And the equivalent of the 470 that they made the comparison was that the ray tracing capabilities will be up to like what a 470 can do. They also said in that same show and sentence that even Space Marine 2, that's running much more efficient on the Xbox One Series X, will still not meet the mark of the 60 frames at a higher frame rate, and that it will still run better on the Xbox because that game and 90% of games run on the CPU. They don't run on the GPU. The GPU is for other things like better foliage, better shadows, or maybe more NPCs. But 90% of the games all run on CPU. That's why they're more efficient on Xbox, even though, quote unquote, it's going to be less powerful by just a smidge, right? And again, this is being put out there and they're still running with that nonsense. Oh, it's the equivalent of a 470. Listen, there's no console that's going to meet a PC because PC always upgrades and brings out new stuff every 6 months, every 4 months, every year. So there's always going to be, you're not going to be able to get to that point to match it unless you have it more powerful right from the beginning, like the way the 360 was. That when it came out, there was literally no PC that had the power of the 360. That's why a lot of PC guys bought 360 as well. And that's why they added the extra memory to fulfill the promise of Gears, because Cliffy asked, we need this, but we need this much memory. And they did it, right? And that's why the 360 was so successful, so sought after, praise and had so much accolades.
Okay, but how many decades have we seen this?
Yeah, I mean, the longest.
In 2002, it was the emotion engine. In 2005, it was the cell processor.
Remember that they said they had real human DNA or some shit? I'll never forget that. It was fucking hysterical. Oh my God. And people were like, human DNA, what?
Yeah. In 2020, it was the SSD. I mean, Unlimited. He ain't had skin in this game as long as you and I have. But we've been. How many decades have we been seeing this shit, man? From Sony.
Well, I mean, if you go look back, E-Rock, in every generation, Sony never had the most powerful console, even though they claimed they did, and yet still people believe that they have the most powerful. Because PS1, the reality is, it wasn't more powerful than the Sega Saturn, right? The same thing with PS2. It wasn't more powerful than Dreamcast, and it wasn't more powerful than the Xbox OG. That's just a fact. Just look at the game comparisons and you see what holds up and what doesn't. PS3 on paper was supposed to be more powerful because they put all this other stuff, but they only gave it 4 megabytes of I think it was 4 megabytes of mega RAM of memory, while the Xbox had like 536. They wasn't the 360. So the 360 was even Digital Foundry recent video admitted it. Let's be honest, the PS3 was not more powerful than the 360, even though that was the claim.
Yeah, John Lindemann. I was shocked.
Right,
that shit annoys me.
Because when we say it, no, it was us being bullshit, right? Now they finally admitted, so people want to believe it now. So the same way we're telling you now, the same way we're telling you now that the PS4 5 Pro is not going to be more efficient. You're going to see a few years from now, after it comes out, when they see that it really didn't do shit. Oh yeah. The Series X was a better.
Oh damn, we lost him.
You see what I'm saying?
Damn it. Did they lose me?
I could hear. No. I could hear He-Bot. He-Bot continue.
Yeah, and so it's the same thing with the PS4 versus the Xbox One. The Xbox One was more capable because it had 34 or 32 megabytes of ES RAM, which allocated the difference in the CPU and GPU that they needed to be able to run games proficiently. They just didn't want to do it, but it took more work, and they were not the leading platform. And developers were being lazy. They even admitted that. Because even in a new recent video with Digital Foundry said it, that most of the games that you see that don't run better on the Series X is because they have eliminated more development time for the Xbox Series X because it's not the leading platform, and they've heard that from multiple developers. Okay? And that tells you right there that it's because Sony has the more sales. But sales don't make revenue. Sales makes perception, but perception doesn't make revenue. You understand? At the end of the day, it's Microsoft that makes the most money because all their games have longevity. They continue. Look at Starfield. Everybody's going to jump right back in it. All you see is everybody talking about Shattered Space, getting ready when they put the update with the little rover, the Land Rover. Everybody's been playing. And what happens when they do that? People went out, bought the Land Rover, they're going to buy Shattered Space, and it's going to continue to make money the same way they've done with Sea of Thieves. It's no longer the old ethical way of doing games and making money from those games. If a game doesn't have longevity, right, it's not going to continue to make money. That's why Sony does the remastered route, because they know they're one and dones and they can't add shit to them because they don't have the online structure and ecosystem that Xbox has. That's why, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, is the reason why Microsoft opts to make most games not tied to the disc. They make it tied to the internet because with the internet, you could just keep updating it and adding content with no issues. That's the reality. And it's working for them in their favor. It's not working for me as a fan of physical media, but they could always opt to make a complete version of any of those games with the full package in disc later on, which they used to do. But because games don't sell as much the way they were physically, I guess that's why they're so apprehensive and don't do it. But Sony doesn't do that because they don't have games that have online multiplayer or that have the promise of continuous story DLC down the road. So they do the remastered route. And the remastered route is also coming from the fact that it's a cheaper alternative of making something to look like a new product or a new game instead of investing in a whole brand new game. That's why they're muddy hatting shit like Wukong, shit like Silent Hill, because that's cost cheaper to them financially than making a brand new game for 200 or 300 million and hoping that it sells well. And then at the end, it doesn't. That's why Concord is such a big deal, because they lost 400 million. Bro, 400 million and 8 years of investment is still a big deal, especially when you don't have that kind of money to throw away. They don't have Microsoft money to throw away. They have a budget, and they're only worth like 75 billion altogether. That's with the movie division combined, right? So they're not going to throw away money like that and be okay because they're not Microsoft. Microsoft is $3 trillion company, and Xbox division alone is over 700 billion with a B. These motherfuckers could buy flat out everybody that's left, from Take-Two Interactive to fucking EA, Sony, and Nintendo, and still have money in their pocket left. That's how you have to put it in perspective. And that is the reason why they keep doing what they do, because they've allowed them to do whatever they want, slap them in their face, come all over their mouth, fart in their fucking eyes, whatever the case may be. And the Sony fanatics and the fucking media eat it up and push it because they know it's in favor of their favorite platform and the narrative for their favorite platform. That's all it is. But the danger
is fart in their eyes. Man, that's crazy.
But the danger is, if you motherfuckers are so stupid and dumb and retarded and fucking missing a brain cell that you go and support this shit, you know what that's going to do? That's just going to open the doors for next generation for them to tell you the PS6 will be $1,200 and you're going to like it, eat it up, and too bad, take it right up the ass royally with no Vaseline. That's basically the window and the door that you're opening. That is why you should not support this as well, because it's called ethics and principles. They're going to feel like they can do whatever they want. And I don't want Microsoft to follow suit because they see that if Sony gets away with it, okay, then we could do it. No, fuck that.
Unfortunately, I think Pandora's box was opened. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube situation. And I think Sony just ruined the console market for everybody with this move.
This proposition is crazy. And you saw that they're all offering 12,000 units of the limited edition that looks like the PlayStation 1. You saw that, right? Yes. Supposedly, that's just $1,200 they're going to announce it the day it goes to pre-order. Are you fucking crazy? $1,200? That means in Canada it's going to be almost $1,800. Are you fucking nuts? That's not a PC. It's a fucking console. For that, get a PC, even though I'm not a PC guy, or just stay retro gaming and hang it up, because there's no reason to fucking own a console no more. The whole reason we get consoles is because of simplicity and because the budget. The budget is more. Yeah, the budget is more, comparable. The budget is more realistic. It's consumer friendly. Even when I remember, what's funny? You have motherfuckers like Colin Moriarty, right? From Sacred Symbols. One of the biggest Sony fucking dick pullers, right? Literally saying that us people that like physical media, we need to stop acting and pretending that it's about us. We're irrelevant. It's about the digital age. And I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm not.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm not surprised he said that.
Listen,
the digital only people, a lot of them don't listen, and they're short-sighted. Unlike someone like Iraq, who does understand our point of view, even though he's
of course, it's right. But Iraq has a reason, right, that makes sense for him, and he's explained that multiple times.
Oh yeah.
If you have a legitimate reason, okay, but here's my point to that. He said that when he was the first motherfucker talking shit about Game Pass, saying that they want to take away your fucking rights.
Wow.
So how is that any different when Game Pass is something
Hold on, one second. Okay, let me ask you this. Did he in 2013? Did he complain that Xbox was going to steal our games away with that whole? You remember that in 2013 when everybody pretended that
yeah, with the DRM bullshit, right?
Yeah. And you couldn't use used games. I wonder if he was on that train too.
That's my fucking point. Unlimited. The nerve of him. After he was the one saying they want to take your rights, they don't want to let you own your games, they just want to push digital for nobody so they can control you. But now he's saying something completely different because it works and fits again in the narrative of place. And I don't give a fuck if you could buy the disc drive separate. You gotta pay $80 for that bitch.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fucking money extra on top of what you're spending, plus a fucking stand for $30. That's not even including tax, which is probably another $50 on top. So that's why I said it's about $850 here in the US for a console that literally is still going to be bottlenecked by the CPU because it's not CPU heavy. It's only GPU heavy. So okay, we'll play Space Marines with maybe better ray tracing on the fucking PlayStation Pro or a little bit better foliage, maybe. But on the Xbox, you can still play it with a nice resolution, HDR, Dolby Atmos surround, right? For example, because they don't use that corny Tempest sound, and also be at 60 FPS and still be, at almost a lock 60 the entire game for a fraction of the cost. Because even if you buy the new Xbox, that gold Space Edition one, whatever it's called, I forget what it's called, that shit comes with 2 terabytes, just like the Pro. It comes with the stand, and it comes with a disc drive. Yeah. And you're still playing with a lot of power under the hood. And it's only $599. It's almost a $350 difference. And you're going to tell me that doesn't make more sense? Especially when you have Xbox All Access that you can pay it slow. And then you also have good trade-up value. And then the shit that GameStop, I'm going to end with this. The shit that GameStop really... the shit that GameStop that really pissed me off. Because GameStop that's been all this time talking shit that they don't want to push Xbox because they're pushing the digital market, right? Them motherfuckers went out on Twitter and put a tweet, yeah, we're going to give you up to $300 and $350 for your PS5 to trade with the Pro. Promoting a diskless shit. So where the fuck is the hypocrisy there when they know it's a diskless console? That means it's all BS. It's because they want to keep catering to PlayStation as per usual. And we've been through this because they're biased fuck pieces. So again, if you want to buy it, it's your money. It's your funeral. Go right ahead. But when you see that the improvements and the benefits are very minimal, then don't cry later because you feel like you got your money robbed, and don't cry later when the PS6, like I said, Sony says, oh, it's $1,200. That's on y'all. That's on y'all because you made that bet. You opened Pandora's box, like Unlimited just said. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, it's Xbox fault, but they have all these failures and all this money they lost, and they're not trying to capitalize and win back some of that, recoup some of that money. That's asinine to even think that way. That's it. That's my point.
Yeah, excellent stuff there. Everybody, thank you for joining me on this impromptu edition of the Limited Truth. Had to talk about it. I'm glad the crew made it today because as usual, y'all guys were awesome. So we're going to give our outros and we're going to enjoy the rest of our weekend. Tuck, you there? Well, you can follow Tuck now.
Oh. No, I'm here. I'm here.
All right, yeah. Hey, give us your final thoughts and your outro.
Okay, my final thoughts is this: it's not going to sell, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's too high. I'm over looking at pictures of it right now. It's not going to sell, y'all. It's not that much of a difference at all. Digital Foundry got a thing of Final Fantasy Rebirth on it right now, and you can't tell the difference.
What the hell was that?
You cannot tell the difference. I'm looking at it right now. It's on IGN. I mean, it's on YouTube, and you can't tell the difference. But that's my thought. That's my only thought. It's not going to sell. And if it does sell, they're going to have to bring down the price after a year. It's gonna be just like the X. It's gonna be just like the PS3 with the cell processor when it came out. So E-Rock can say what he want to say. This thing is not going to sell.
Yeah.
It's not. So, but that's my thought of the day. And everybody agrees with me on the Lions Den. And that's really basically all I got to say. I mean, I just don't think it's going to sell. I mean, you talk about $700 and some odd dollars. Okay, that's your car payment. That's your house payment. For what? You think that I'm going to lose my house and lose my car for just a system? Easy. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's going to sell at all. I think if it does sell, it might sell to the hardcore gamers, but to the casuals, nah.
No.
Yeah, no. Great stuff.
But that's all I got to say about that, y'all.
Yeah, great stuff there, Tuck. Sega man, I know you're probably at work, man. Let me get your final thoughts in your outro. By the way, fantastic video you did on the Sega Dreamcast. I watched every second of it and loved every second of it. That's what gaming is, man. That's what gaming should be, man.
Thank you, man.
Just celebrating gaming, and your collection was beautiful.
I appreciate you.
Your final thoughts.
Well, Brother Unlimited, it was good to come back on the Unlimited Truth. Yes, I am at work, but I still have to support my brother Unlimited Productions and the Unlimited Truth because it's one of the most awesome,
we'll always be here for you, brother, because you've been there for us. It's that simple. That's simple.
That's right. That's right, man. It's on fire right now. And I'm gonna do my outro real quick, man. And my final thoughts, so Brother Hebach can get his in too. I just don't believe, honestly. I'm with Tuck. I'm with Brother Tuck. I don't believe it's going to sell like that. I just do not believe that. There's a lot of people that want a PS5 so bad and they cannot afford it. They cannot afford it yet. You know what I mean? It's just that PlayStation 5 Pro. Yes, there's going to be people that have the money that are going to buy it, like the higher echelon of PlayStation guys that really love PlayStation. Of course, they're going to buy it and they're going to do videos on it and everything. But the majority of PlayStation guys that are out there, especially the kids that love PlayStation, they're still on PS4s, and they'll be lucky if they get one for Christmas this year, if they get a regular PS5. I'm telling you the truth because I know. I know. I'm a place where I work. I know. Trust me when I tell you guys, I know. And a majority of them, Brother Hebot, everybody, they're on PS4s. They're not even on PS5s yet. So I just don't believe that it's going to sell. I don't believe so. I think it'll do okay, but I don't think it's going to sell out like hotcakes and do all these extraordinary numbers or anything like that, man. It's too much money. That's crazy. $700. That's too much, man. Yeah. And then I heard the controllers they got out are more. Don't they have some expensive controllers or something like that?
Oh, they raised the price of the controllers.
Yeah, what really? Why would you do that? I mean, it's just they can do no wrong. They can do no wrong, Brother Unlimited. But I land my plane on that Unlimited. I just don't think it's going to sell like that. I think they will sell some regular vanilla PlayStation 5s. I do believe they will move some of those this upcoming holiday. But as far as that Pro, forget it. I don't think it's going to sell like that, man. I think it's an epic fail, and that's all I got to say about that, brother.
Great stuff. Zink, I wish you were able to make it because I did have some cool Halo news about how they made $2 billion and it wasn't just from the game itself. But yes, Hebot, as always, you're fantastic, man. But let me get your final thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, like always, it's always a pleasure to be here because you basically give me an opportunity to speak the way I would in my own podcast that I try to make. And it's hard for me. So you are basically my right-hand man in that sense. And, so it's always fun because, you keep it alive, right? You keep it alive and we're able to come and talk like brotherhood, like gamers and have fun. Even though we're talking about the bullshit, but most of the time we also like to talk about games, right? Which most places don't do, right? My final thought is basically this. Look, it's going to sell its initial sales because of the FOMO effect, right? Fear of missing out. The media. But remember, a lot of these are also going to be given out for free. And look, I saw Maximilian, and I give them and I commend them for that because they were being honest. I saw Maximilian RGT and Tyrone Magnus. I don't know if you know all three of them, but they all said, I'm going to buy it for the channel, but I can do a tax write-off. But if I was going to recommend it as a person, a gamer, to another person to buy it for that price, I can't be honest, and I can't tell you to go buy it because it's a ripoff. You can't. That's too much money. And all three of them said that I'm gonna get it and do a tax write-off because they have the means because of their sub base, subscriber base, whatever. Even, and I commend my hat to him too because at least he was honest and he's a big Sony dick licker, happy console gamer because he's located in Canada. He said, even if Sony sends it or tries to send one, I'm going to say no. Because the reality is a big of my audience is from Canada. And I cannot with a straight face tell them, yeah, go support a diskless console for $1,060 because that's the price in Canada. And then an additional $110 for the damn fucking drive. And then an additional $50 because over there everything's priced higher for the stand, and then all you're getting is a very small, minimal upgrade. He said, as a content creator and having to be honest with my families, I can't do that. So shout outs to them for being at least honest and real. And believe me, these are some big Sony dick lickers, but they kept it real. So I know an initially sales is going to sell, but a lot of that's going to be the fanaticals, the media, and YouTubers because they want to make content about it because people are going to go to see it. But other than that, after that effect, I have a feeling the same thing that happened with, the PlayStation VR and all that other shit is going to dwindle down and it's not going to do well. And they're probably going to have to be forced to bring the price down like they did with the PlayStation 3 era. Because when that happened, it was the same thing. They had to keep adjusting, taking shit out just to bring the price down until ultimately at the end of the generation, as you know, my two brothers here, it was like $180 for a PS4 for a PlayStation 3 that came with God of War because that's when I bought it from FYE with a bunch of movie traded. I didn't even pay cash. I traded a bunch of old movies I had in DVD because I got them in Blu-ray, and I paid for the fucking PS3, which was the God of War edition, the red, right? And that was $180, $179, and I remember it clear as day. When at that point, even the Xbox 360 core, which that's the one that didn't even come with a hard drive, was $250 still because it was so dominant that generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Remember, this is our outros, He-Bot.
Right. So I guess they feel because they're so popular that they can't be stopped. That's it. Find me on my channel. Love you guys. Fuck all you assholes and haters. Have a good night.
All right, man. And last but not least, E-Rock, man, just give us your final thoughts and outros real quick.
Hey, man, it was great to hang out with you guys tonight, man. And another great show, guys. Check you out next time.
Yeah, excellent stuff. All right, guys, enjoy y'all weekend. Keep it gaming, and we are out.